Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about NotebookLM. It's been an amazing tool for me, which I have been using to learn more and understand things better, and I wanted to share that information with everyone. So there's free version, there's pro version. Let me start with the free version first so that everybody gets used to it. So when you open notebooklm.google, you'll have this option. You would need a Google account. That's the bare minimum needed. Once you have a Google account, you can just go to try NotebookLM. So you can see this is how it would look like. There's new versions, and I just wanted to share how we can use it. Okay, so the moment you start, you will see an option for a web or fast research. Now, let's say I want to learn something. Let's say I want to learn FIFA is very popular right now because of the World Cup. I want to understand the offside rule. It's driving me crazy how it works. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. So I want to learn about that. So there are two ways to do it. Either you can just ask it, explain the offside rule to me in soccer. Now you can drop your sources yourself, which you can find in Google or other places and put them here. And you can see you can upload files, you can have websites or YouTube videos, you can have your own drive, so you can connect your Google Drive, which we can talk about later, or you can just have some text, which can also do it. You can also do from best sources from the web, or you can do fast research. So as of now, because it's also connected to Gemini, we can just use it as a search thing. So let me just search it and we'll search some websites and will give us the options on how to use it. So you can see it gives like 7 more resources. I can look at these resources. Now it's up to you how we want to use this sources. If I don't trust Wikipedia, I can deselect it. I also don't trust Reddit, so I'm gonna deselect it. Let's see what else is there. Offside rule explained, law 11, offside, yada yada yada. Right. We have to be careful here. We don't want some extra information, but let's say this is okay. So I'm gonna import this. Now it's importing. If it's not able to import, or there is a payment guide or payment wall in front of these websites, it will not be able to use it. But looks like it was able to get all of these in there, which is great. Now, what do you do with it? It will itself update the notebook here and show the name of it. There you go. Very basic use cases. You can just ask it. Say, I want to ask how many players I need to be front of to be called offside, something like that. And it will be using these resources to answer this question. So it's very specific on how it uses it. So you can see it's pointing to this player and it talks about the 2-player rule. Now, let's say I want a visual understanding of how to do this. I can do a slide deck, I can do a video overview, I can do an infographic. So let's try all three and see how it looks like. So I'm going to create these. So let me do a slide deck, can be a detailed deck, can be a presenter slides. So these are just different options which you can use, and you can also choose which sources you want. Let's say you only want from one, you can do that. Let me just use all these 7 right now and then try using I can do a short version or something. So I'm not giving any details. So let me just try generating this. Let's go to video overview. You can do an explainer or you can do a short, and you can choose these visual styles. I don't know if they are in short also. I guess they just provide the focus part. So let's say I want an anime style. Sure, you can do anime style. And this also you can choose the sources. So let's use something specific. Let's say law 11, which is the offside rule apparently, I think. Let's just use those two and see if that comes up with something. So I'm using anime style explainer. It will explain what it does, and let me generate this. These takes time because it's using Nano Banana Pro to kind of understand the information and use that Nano Banana Pro to create images. Both the slides and the videos will be using that. And then you can also do an infographic. So you can kind of create a one flyer style one. So you can do landscape, portrait, or square, whichever you want. Let me put landscape just in case. And I want to understand how that works, right? So again, we have already done anime. Let's do a clay version. Now we can do a detailed style or we can do a standard one. Let's have all the 7 sources right now and see what it looks like. Oops. You can, so let's try that. So let's generate with using clay form in the landscape format. So we generate this. This will take time. You can also do an audio overview. This is just like a podcast. So if you're not in a place where you want to sit down and look at these videos or slides or anything, and you want to just understand how it works, you can listen to this small podcast. It's an amazing, this is the best thing which there is. Let me just do a brief one. Let me keep all the sources again. And what I can do is I can click on generate here. So I just created a bunch of things, and there's more things you can do, but we'll get to that later. But this is a basic overview. Now this takes a little bit of time, so let's wait. Okay, so you can see that 3 of them are done. So if you open this up, let's open it. And you can do it full screen so you can see everything. You can see invisible line which they're talking about in the offside. So it's kind of explained it here. A false start, okay, looks correct. You must time your run and cannot be offside in your own half ahead of. Oh, I didn't know this. That's good to know. Ahead of the second last opponent. Goalkeeper usually the last, making the deepest defender the second last. Okay, biological boundary. Yeah, looks good to me. I can go more deeper into it, but it kind of explains how the whole thing works and with diagrams and everything, which is nice. This is great. So that's how you can get more information in here. You can see that all of these are kind of labeled by NotebookLM, which make sure that if you have AI Ultra Pro subscription, you can have an option to remove this, but for Pro and regular subscription you don't have it. But if you're just learning and not trying to monetize it, I don't think it's a problem. That's what I use it for mostly. And even if you're monetizing it, mentioning that it's from NotebookLM is not a bad thing at all. And you can see how they are talking about the evolution of this offside rule, which is probably from one of the sources. So that's beautiful as well. So it's kind of gone deep into it, so you can figure that out. So if I go back here, the video one is still taking time, which is totally okay. And then you can see this is the audio version. So
This is the brief on the soccer off of a rule designed to stop lazy goal hanging and force teams to use real tactical skill. First, let's break down the core rule. Start in a track sprint. You simply can't start your run behind that defensive line before the pass is fired. Second, just
so yeah, you can see that kind of creates it. There's also an option which probably I did not create, is where I can ask questions. So that's one thing. And then you have the one page visualizer, which you can get more details about. It's a very cute way of showing how we can understand the offside rule better. And maybe for kids, sometimes these images help. But yeah, that's one of the examples which I wanted to share. So I'll stop here. Okay, so next day, then you can see here that we have the explainer ready. The offside rule is 15 hours ago because I fell asleep waiting for this. No, I'm just kidding. So if you see this one, and if I expand this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining me today because review again. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Right, so before we can even talk about passing, shooting, or...
So you can see they have an explainer. It's still images, but the audio is coming directly. And you can also increase the speed or decrease it. You can cast it somewhere. I guess that's an option you can use if you want to share with the whole group or something.
Anything to do with the goalkeeper, we've got to strip this. FAB specifically clarifies that for the purposes of offside, the arm officially all comes straight to you. You are perfectly legal to play it. It's a hugely vital tactical exception that teams use to stretch the field. And finally, Section 4, tricky scenarios and resets. Let's move to Garrick and see how this builds our understanding by testing our foundational knowledge against some of the most confusing real-world...
So you can see the NotebookLM tag is also here. And again, this can be removed in AI Ultra version. So that's it. You can do a lot more. Let me try doing a short version, which we can watch together. So let's do a short version. I just want to understand offside rules. So let me generate. Then we'll have to wait a bit. Okay, a few minutes have passed and I can see that the short is ready. So let's watch the short together.
How do referees actually decide when a player breaks the offside rule? Without it, attackers would just camp next to the opponent's goalie, turning soccer into chaotic ping-pong. Take a striker sprinting toward the goal just as their midfielder winds up a deep pass. The boundary the striker cannot cross isn't a fixed painted marking on the grass. It is an invisible line that constantly shifts back and forth as the defenders move. This moving boundary is anchored exactly level with the deepest defending field player on the pitch. Since the goalie counts as the final man, that outfield player is the second last defender. Now here is the trick. The rule doesn't care where the striker catches the ball. It evaluates their position like a photo finish at the exact split second the pass is struck. And simply standing past that invisible line is not automatically a penalty. The referee only stops play if that offside player actually touches the ball or interferes with defenders. So let's look at that deep pass to our sprinting striker once more. Because he kept his body level with the defender at the exact moment the pass was struck, he is legally in the clear to score.
Okay, so it basically just gave one example, which is okay. At least it was a clear example and you can do more research yourself. So I'll stop here. This is a very basic understanding of the NotebookLM usage for someone who has never used it. In this, you are able to understand a little bit about the offside rule. You can get more detail, you can do more things based on how you want to use it. But for today, I'll stop here and I'll use different examples for the next time on how we can use NotebookLM. So thank you so much. Let me know if you understood the offside rule a little better. If not, probably you can try yourself and use better sources or give better prompts. Let me know if that works. Thank you so much for watching.